Welcome to Enlightened Game with Slim Sir, as he takes the lessons he learned from the streets, commonly known as the game, and applies them to everyday life, helping everyday people win the game of life, focusing on relationships, money, and the winner's lifestyle. This podcast will turn any chump into a champ. So if you're ready, let the game begin. And now, your host, the most valuable player himself, Slim Sir.
Peace, 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 and welcome to Enlightened Game. I am your brother, Slim Sir. And in this episode, I want to talk about a simple principle called advancement. Advancement, okay? Let me just give you a little brief history of myself. I spent a lot of time in the streets, in the game, in the pimp game, to be honest with you. And over the past few years, my perspective started to change, especially when I had my son. I got out the game because I didn't want to take the chance. I didn't want to take a penitentiary chance and not be around my son. And so that forced me to make a change in my life. And that change was not easy. I was so stuck in my ways. Even now I still have little tendencies, to keep it all the way real with you. I always wanted to form a little group called Pimps Anonymous because I struggle with this shit daily. It's a daily thing that I struggle with. However, when I sat down and I began to do some self-reflection, I realized that I had to advance as a person, as a man. And if I didn't advance, that would mean that I would just stay in the same position. Okay? Staying in the same position was not beneficial for me, and it didn't suit my purpose, and it wouldn't suit the purpose of my son. That's why I really, really got out the game. I put the hose down, which was very, very hard. Putting the hose down, putting the money down, putting that lifestyle down was very difficult, very challenging. I'm gonna keep it so real with you. It is what it is. And, but I'm glad that I did because of the principle of advancement. Now, in the game, I know a lot of people will say that they have game, but there are principles in the game. One of those principles are advancement. And so one of the big problems that I have with a lot of people who still play the game right now is not that they're playing the game, but the fact that they haven't advanced in the game. In my book, How to Pimp Life and Karma, I just posed a little statement. I said, if a child was in the first grade for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, you would naturally say that that child had a learning problem, right? Something was wrong with that child. That school wasn't for that child, right? Well, in the game, if you pimping on the street or, just pimping and hoeing, and this is what you've been doing for years and you haven't advanced, well, guess what? The game may not be for you. In my studies of the game, I realized that a lot of people in the past in our history, they got in the game not necessarily because they wanted to or because it was a desirous thing. It was really for survival, to keep it real with you. That was a way to make an abundance of money and to survive. And then there are those who got in the game and used the game as a creative financing tool because they couldn't go to banks to finance their business ideas. So they got in the game, they did what they had to do, and immediately started to invest in business. This is advancement. Now, I'm not telling you to get in the game. I would never tell you to do that. As a matter of fact, that's one of my biggest regrets in life, that I got into that lifestyle, because to be honest with you, it always stays with you. And when you start to look at life and at females and at other dudes from the lens of a pimp, when I got out of the game, it kind of like, it fucked with me. Keep it real with you. Like I was always looking at females like they was trying to run game, or, dudes is like, I looked at dudes like they was trying to knock me, right? I mean, just being real with you. There are a lot of mental and emotional scars that I got in the game that will never go away. Just being 100 with you, just be keeping it so real with you. So I would never advise anybody to get in the game. But if that's what you decide to do, I can't stop you, because a part of the game is free will, and you can't mess with people's free will. So do what you do. But what I am saying is, in anything, whether it be the pimp game, whether it be in your career, whether it be in your family, your relationship, apply the principle of advancement, right? Because if something is not moving forward, then by nature is either standing still or getting left behind, moving backwards. I want you to really think about that. A lot of times, in our lives, man, a lot of people feel stuck. They feel stuck, like they're not making any fucking forward progress. And it's true. And the reason why people are not making progress is because they're not applying the principle of advancement. They're not even thinking in these terms. I want you to take a moment to look at your physical body. Your face, right? Look at your face. Your eyes, they go forward. They're placed in the front of your head. You're not like certain animals where they have the eyes on the side of the head. You're created where your eyes are in the front of your head. Your nose, your mouth, all of it leading forward. The way you walk, you're designed to move forward. So this teaches us that advancement, forward progress, forward movement, forward motion is natural to the human being. And if this is true on a physical level, it has to be just as true on a mental and an emotional level. And you see this because when you're not making progress, when you're not making advancement, you feel frustrated, right? So the game teaches us to advance. Now, how do you make advancements? How do you move forward? I'm not trying to be religious or anything, but the Holy Quran gives us a model, right? It gives us a model. And I'm just going to illustrate it by this one verse. This verse says, let me see if I remember it at the top of my head. It says, believe in that which was revealed to you and that which was revealed before you, and be sure of the hereafter. That's a model. If you look at it, believe in that which was revealed to you is a present time. And believe in that which was revealed to you before you is a past time. And be sure of the hereafter is a future time. Well, in order for us to get to the future, right? The hereafter is the future tense. You have to first deal with your present day reality. So here's what I want you to do. If you made up your mind to advance and you're sick and tired of this being stuck in the same old fucking rut, take a moment and make a honest assessment of your present condition, your present situation. I don't care how fucked up, how ugly it is. The foundation of the game is self-reflection and brutal honesty. And that's where we have to begin if we want to start to really play this game of life and win this game of life. You have to take an honest assessment of where you are now. Okay? And that takes a lot of courage. Take an honest assessment of where you are now. Write that shit down. Where are you in terms of life? Where are you in terms of money, your finances? Where are you in terms of your relationships? And not just romantic, but relationships with your family, your friends, your coworkers, whoever all of the relationships. Write it all down. Where are you right now? And after you take an honest assessment of where you are now, I want you to take a step back and look at your past. Look at your history. Like Pimpin' Ken said, don't let your history be a mystery, right? Take an honest assessment. This is why history is so important, because you can learn so much from not only your past, but the past. And so when you take an honest assessment of your present situation, and you take an honest assessment of your past situation, now your lens, your perception, your perspective becomes a little bit more clearer for what you can expect for the future. Now, if you look at your present situation and you don't like it, and you looked at your past situation and you don't like it, chances are if your future is going to look exactly that way. The only way you can advance then at that point is you have to make a change. The word change means to stop doing one thing and start doing something else, right? The word change means to stop doing what you are doing now, and start doing something else. If you've looked at your present condition, you don't like it. You looked at your past situation and you don't like it. Guess what? You have to stop what you are doing and stop what you've been doing and start doing something else for your future to look better, for your future to look like how you plan it and envision it in your mind. And that is a great principle as well. In the game, you have to have a vision for yourself. And then you have to sell this vision to other people to get their cooperation to help you to make this vision a reality. Okay? But you can't sell a vision if you don't know what that vision is. And you can't know what that vision is unless you take an honest assessment of where you are now and where you've been and where you want to go. And that's the model. Look at yourself now, how your life is now. Look at how it was and look at how you want it to be. Okay? Now, in order for you to have something different, you have to do something different. And in order for you to do something different, you have to be different. Think about that. So that means that you have to make an advancement within yourself. You have to change who you are and the things you do in order to change the type of circumstance, condition that you want, right? If you keep doing the same old shit, you're going to keep having the same old shit. And the only reason why you keep doing the same old shit is because you are the same old motherfucking person. Just being honest. So if you want to change your life, change the things that you have in your life, change the things that you want to do, you have to change who you are. And that's a big part of what game is. Game is really taking the time out to reflect on yourself, who you are as a person. And sometimes you're going to look at yourself and not like what the fuck you see. And that's okay. It's totally okay. Here's why. Because when you look at yourself and you see something about yourself that you don't like, that's fucking awesome, because now you know what you need to change. A lot of people walk around and spend their whole lives not liking themselves and don't realize what it is about themselves that has to change. Remember, things won't change unless you change the things that you do, and the things that you do won't change unless you change who you are. And you won't change who you are until you start reprogramming your mind and disciplining your behavior. Podcast is almost done, but the Bible gives you a great verse. I'm not religious or anything, but just look at the verse. The Bible says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." So if you want to advance, you want to transform your life, you have to renew your mind. You have to put new information in your mind, solid information in your mind. Now, what I want you to do, click the link in the description and go to slimsir.com. I wrote a report about this, how to advance in life. It's only $1.99. I'm not trying to break your pockets, and it's not very long. It's just a synopsis and gives you hardcore facts, gives you a blueprint of what you should be doing and how you should perceive yourself and how you're going to move forward. I am your brother, Slim Sir. Thank you for your time and your attention. I'll see you next podcast. Peace.